From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Today, beautiful weather. A lot of sunshine, light winds, really ideal outside, but that's going to come to an end, at least as far as cloud cover is concerned. Mostly clear for now. Temperature-wise, we're in the 30s to the north and 40s here in mid-Michigan, but those 50s to the southwest, they are on the way tomorrow. Our local numbers, 46 in Jackson, Howell 44, Flint 43, 44 in Lansing. Precipitation, if you have plans this weekend, our rain chances are really going to start to ramp up, so we'll get into all the details of how much rain to expect coming up in just a few minutes. Now, if you have travel plans tonight, good shape, no rainfall out there. There may be a few more clouds around by early tomorrow morning. Temperature-wise, not too bad either. We'll fall into the 20s for overnight lows, but nothing too terribly cold. With the rain chances this weekend, we're looking at high temperatures in the 60s. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 6.
New information tonight as a Michigan family tries to free their parents from a Mexican prison and bring them home. It is our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sherry Jones.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. It's been 3 weeks since police arrested Christy and Paula Cayo after they landed at the Cancun International Airport. We are learning more about the prison, where they're being held, how they're doing, and how this started.
Rachel Ramsey is here for you now with what the Cayos attorney has to say. And for the first time, we're hearing what the resort has to say. Rachel?
Yeah, Sherry, Siobhan, the Cayos are accused of defrauding the Palace Resort out of more than $100,000. But their children say this accusation is false and that this is extortion. A lawyer for the Cayos says as soon as the couple touched down in Mexico on March 4th, they were arrested. He says they are still in a maximum security prison in Cancun. The lawyer says the couple signed up for a timeshare with the hotel company and that everything was good at first. The lawyer says eventually the company took away the couple's benefits and increased their monthly contribution to $6,200 a month. He says under this contract, the Cayos were supposed to be able to sell off weeks of their timeshare, but he says the company didn't honor that.
So that's what happened, and then what began to occur is Palace just began to cancel the reservations. So essentially they're paying $6,200 a month, for which anybody who's middle class or retired is a lot of money, not allowing them to sell their weeks, what they had promised, and essentially defaulted or breached rather the contract.
Disputed the contract and disputed the charges with their credit card company. Their kids say they thought everything was resolved. The resort released a statement saying in part, quote, the couple fraudulently disputed legitimate credit card charges and publicly encouraged others to do the same, adding that a Mexican judge has, quote, ruled there is sufficient cause for the case and ordered the detention of the Cayos. We will continue to follow this story and bring you updates as they happen. Back to you.
Thank you, Rachel. We had a very scary morning for people in Grand Ledge. They were told to shelter in place as police searched for an armed man.
That search ended shortly before noon, and 6 News has learned a lot about the situation since then. Our Zach Priest was on the scene and has been following this story for us today. He's here for you now with more details. Zach?
The suspect, who law enforcement is not yet identifying to the public, was found on the banks of the Grand River. Police searched for him for about 2 hours on the ground and also by air, and eventually he was found and arrested.
I felt very safe because all those police officers were here.
People who live nearby, like Charlene Avery, were worried after the alert went out. Everyone in Grand Ledge should shelter in place. Around 11:50 this morning, our photojournalist recorded this, what appears to be the suspect being arrested. The shelter in place was lifted shortly after.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to make sure that we got the suspect in custody and nobody was harmed in this. So it was a dangerous, violent felon that we were able to arrest today.
It all began around 8:30 this morning when the Eaton County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of an armed robbery in Delta Township. The victim's phone, which was left in the car, was tracked to Grand Ledge. Police found the car, abandoned, and then saw the suspect run off. As officers searched by foot, a state police helicopter was called in to help. Eventually, officers closed in and made the arrest. They say to be sure and take these alerts seriously.
We want people to lock the doors, shut your windows, stay inside the residence, and then if we post a description, if you see something like that, please call 911 to report that.
And that's exactly what Charlene Avery did.
No, I did make sure that all my windows were locked, and I made sure that I've got some windows down at the back of my house. I just made sure that they were still all intact. I'm glad that they have arrested him. I think the whole Grand Ledge community is going to be very grateful not to be on lockdown anymore.
And the Eaton County Sheriff's Office says that the shelter-in-place order was issued because the suspect, who they knew was armed, had already committed a felony and had also run from officers. They also say no shots were fired by either side during the search or during the arrest.
All right, Zach, thank you. Police in Adrian are investigating tonight after a fight turned into a stabbing.
The victim's lung collapsed, but they did survive and are expected to recover.
It happened around 2:45 yesterday afternoon near the intersection of Maple and Ormsby Streets. Police say a fight escalated and the victim was stabbed in the upper back. Investigators have a suspect in the crime, but no arrests have been made. The number for the Adrian Police Department is on your screen. Call in a tip if you know anything that could help.
Police in Lansing Township are warning people tonight about scammers who are apparently going door to door. The scammer is described as a woman in her mid to late 20s, about 5 feet tall, in a gray sedan with tinted windows. According to police, she turns up at homes, claiming she accidentally entered the wrong address for a delivery and is trying to retrieve a package. If nobody is home, she leaves a note. Lansing Township Police say do not open the door for someone you don't know and report any suspicious behavior to police.
Senator Elissa Slotkin is criticizing the White House's response to defense officials mistakenly sharing war plans with a journalist.
Now, the editor-in-chief of The Atlantic was mistakenly included in a messaging group discussing real-time plans to bomb Houthi rebels in Yemen.
Senator Slotkin served as a CIA analyst during the Iraq War. She released a statement today slamming the use of an unsecured phone app to discuss plans for military strikes.
Slotkin says when she worked for the Defense Department, she had to lock up her phone every day because it wasn't even safe to bring it into an office with classified information.
The senator says lives can be lost due to reckless information sharing. Top officials in the Trump administration, though, claim that no classified information was in the text chain. Turning to local politics, Lansing City Councilman Peter Spatafor is planning to run for a different seat on the City Council. Since 2018, Spatafor has served as an at-large member of the City Council, but now he plans to run for the open seat representing the city's 4th Ward. Spatafor says he is ready to get a fresh perspective on the City Council and take on new challenges. Meanwhile, the fentanyl overdose deaths, well, they continue to rise, and we are here for you with ways to keep your family safe. Be sure to tune in to our special program, The Next Generation, Breaking Fentanyl's Grip. It airs tonight at 10 o'clock on WLAJ, giving you an in-depth look at this health emergency and some innovative strategies being used to tackle it.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
A little good, a little bad in the weather department today as far as the forecast. The good is we've got some really warm weather on the way. The bad is the rain is going to affect your weekend plans. Our 5-day rainfall outlook, and we do need the rain, so that is good news, I suppose. But as you can see, the yellow area is indicating an inch or more of rainfall, half an inch to an inch across many areas. There's going to be some dry time as well. I think on Friday we'll get some showers, but there'll still be some pretty good amounts of time that we could spend outside. Saturday, similar. I still think there's a good chance that we'll end up with some dry time during the day. Sunday looks more like a widespread soaker to me, and as it moves out Monday morning, we've got green on here, but some of this could end with some snow showers in the area, likely will end with snow showers on Monday morning. High temperature trend, this is what we're going to enjoy. We go into the mid-50s tomorrow. It'll be a little bit on the windy side, but still really warm. And then 60s over the weekend into early next week. Temperatures start to fall back in the low 40s, and then we go right back into the upper 50s. So now you can see how the cool snaps, the cold fronts that move through, they don't stick around quite as long as we continue to make our way through spring. Temperature is mid-40s from Owasso, west to St. John's, southwest to Hastings, now up to 50 degrees. That's now our warm spot. A little bit cooler in Charlotte at 45 degrees. Wind chills have been running in the 30s at times, but it currently feels like it's in the low 40s because there's just not much wind outside, so that's been good news as well. So take a look at the Skyview network on the McLaren cam. Lots of sunshine. 45 the current temperature after a high of 47. Morning low dropped to 27 degrees if you're out in Grand Ledge this afternoon. Still a few clouds out there, but overall still partly cloudy with the temperature very pleasant 46 degrees. Morning low is down to 25. Beautiful shot on the Jackson cam. We've got some cumulus clouds trying to grow, but not really going to provide any precipitation. 46 is the current temperature. That's our high. This morning we dropped down to 24, and in Hillsdale, the low temperature this morning started out quite chilly at 23 degrees, but we made it up to 49 for a high, and our current temp at 47. No weather worries for this evening. We've got clear skies out there. Frontal boundary to our south, stationary front's going to remain there for the next 24 hours. But as we move through tomorrow afternoon, it'll start to lift north as a warm front. This cold front never actually makes it into mid-Michigan, so we won't get the cold stuff from that. But for places like northern lower in the UP, that could mean problems as we head into Friday. Friday morning, we'll have maybe a scattered shower here or there, a couple showers during the day, but as you see, there's not a lot of green on the map. And the pink, that is to our north of that warm front. That's where there could be some freezing rain in the UP and northern lower Michigan. Tonight's forecast, overnight low dips to 30 degrees with partly cloudy skies. For your Thursday, it's looking pretty good. More clouds around, a little more wind, but we're up to 55 degrees. It's going to be warm out there. The 6-day forecast, even warmer yet on Friday, mid-60s with not an all-day rain. Scattered showers on Saturday, then rainy on Sunday. Morning snow showers on Monday. We'll get right past that. Tuesday, we're back in the mid-40s. And we're looking
Snuck that in there.
more rain next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We're kind of in a wet pattern.
Snow shower. Well, it's 32 degrees in the morning when we start.
Right. Which means it'll melt almost instantly.
Yes.
Nothing major, no major issues, no major travel concerns.
No sledding, no snowmen. It's
Yeah.
here and it's gone.
Okay.
Thanks, David.